And we are live for show number 53, Flippinar with Adria and Renikia. We are on time, I guess on time for us. We're 5 minutes late, so whatever. All right, so Adria, you can take it over.
Okay, welcome everyone. As Mr. Tyrone Taylor has said, we are on time. I don't care, 6:05, that's on time. It don't get no better than that. Welcome to your Thursday Flippinar, where we give you tidbits and I guess information on flipping houses with no cash, no credit. This is a platform that is streaming live across YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The way it works is you post your questions, I read the questions, and Renikia and or Ty will answer your questions. This is the opportunity for you to get free information that typically somewhere else you would have to pay for. Tyrone has made this quite easy for you to access over 300 videos on YouTube. We have a Facebook group that is available to you as well. With over 5,000 members now, it's Wholesaling with the Flipman. So make sure you join that. There's an ebook. He does offer mentoring services. Miss Renika can help you get your credit in order. She can also get you to the point where you can get funding for your buy and hold deals, your flipping deals, which is different than wholesaling. We talk about that as well. But this is your free resource, and we're glad to have you. We're here every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to go ahead and get started. This is show number 53. I'm Adria. That's Tyrone, the milk dud, and that is the beautiful Renikia. For those of you who are new joining us, I can say it 1,000 times. Welcome. But I'm also going to allow Ms. Renikia to explain to you what it is she can offer you and introduce herself. So, Ms. Renikia, take it away.
I'm super excited about today's episode. I'm excited every Thursday. But my name is Renikia. I am a financial advisor that specializes in real estate investing, creative financing, and just financial advisor as a whole. I specialize in building wealth. And we all know that real estate is one of the greatest assets in order for us to begin to build wealth in our communities. I specialize in creative financing and helping you find the money. When I first started this business, I had very limited resources. I was like 20 years old. So finding the resources that I needed was very creative. And I want to show you that same way of being able to use what you have, use your credit, and leverage your credit in order to receive money so you can go out there and invest other people's money. So I'm super excited about today's episode. And yeah.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. But what I do like to do is say hello to our subscribers. We have Royston. Hey, William Gibbons. Anthony is from Baltimore. We got Chicago in the house. We got ATL, of course. Malachi, you're back. Way. Joe Johnson. Hey, Adria. I bought Ty's book today. Yay, way to go. Off-roader, always making money. Let's see here. Shaq Smith is my homie from the west side of Detroit. We got Kakalaki in the house. I don't know whether that's South Kakalaki. We got Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm sorry. She is Philadelphia. Yeah, it's done. Maybe next year. Celtics got you guys. Arkansas, Tampa, Houston, and Pennsylvania. Hey guys, another thing. If you have a hard to pronounce name, maybe give me a nickname, but also make sure you tell me your location in your question, because oftentimes your answer can be better suited to you if I know where you're from. I see you: Dallas, Texas, Kansas, Arlington, and Jackson, Mississippi, H-Town, and New York. Yeah, Shahia, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our first question. Shahia Preston on YouTube says, hi, everyone. Flipman, do you know anyone that buys tax lien notes? I'm trying to wholesale 8 in Ohio.
Well, the thing about that is that that's going to be so state specific because of just the tax lien, tax deed, tax certificate laws. I can't help you. I'm just going to tell you. So the thing you're going to do is the first thing I would do is go down to the county courthouse, talk to someone in the tax assessor. That's what it's called here. Maybe call something else there, and understand the process of each level of ownership and or control, because a lot of times you may have control over the property, but you don't own it because of the redemption periods that allows the actual owner to come back and pay the taxes with, whatever interest or penalties they charge, which would be a benefit to you. But as far as a buyer for those, I know I couldn't help you because I don't understand the Ohio state laws or whatever. So.
All right. And I just skipped all of my Facebook people. Samuel, Chris, Donald, Don, and Barry. Thank you, Barry. Barry says, come on, y'all. We got to work with him because we always seem to have a little feedback on Facebook. I apologize, guys. Always remember that YouTube is crystal clear all the time. So just putting it out there. But I appreciate you joining us on Facebook anyway. Post a question. I don't have a question over there, guys. Next question is going to come from YouTube as well, and it's Jeffson. Who decides the title company, the seller or me?
I would say you, as the buyer, you want to control as much of the deal as you possibly can. So if you can control the title company, I would suggest you to control the title company. Now, there's some sellers that just adamant about you using their attorney. Personally, I always use my attorney because I will even position myself to pay for the seller's closing costs or some of it if they have a trouble, just so I can control the deal. Whoever uses their attorney somewhat controls the closing. So try to control your deal as much as possible.
And on top of that, I'm like you. If the seller demands that I use their title company, I'm probably not going to do the deal, or a closing attorney, whatever, depending on what state you're in. In Alabama, you can do both, close deals. Now, sometimes the buyer may not allow you to use who you want to use because the one with the goal makes the decisions. A lot of times they're flexible with that, but if they're paying it, it's normally not going to be an issue, even if that closing attorney or title company has never done a wholesale transaction. Just to satisfy their client, they're going to work with you in most cases. And then the way a lot of times that turns out, you can go back to that title company and or closing attorney, even if that buyer is not involved anymore, because they've done a deal with you now. And that's just another client that they have an opportunity to add on or whatever. But on the seller side of it, for me, if they insist on that, they're not motivated enough to deal with me or whatever. I'm not going to let them control that.
And I just want to add to that. If you're wholesaling a deal and either party or seller may not know you wholesaling or the buyer may not know you wholesaling to them, you really need to make sure you use your closing attorney, because you need to keep those two parties separate. I had a deal before where my buyer wanted to use their closing attorney that I was wholesaling a deal out to. Because we chose to go with the buyer's closing attorney, the buyer's attorney told the buyer how much money I was making on the deal, and the deal went sideways. The deal failed. So what I mean by that is, you want to control it, because the buyers or the other party's attorney can hurt your deal, especially if they don't know you wholesaling it.
Okay, guys, I hope that answered your question there. Renikia, this sounds like it's for you. Well, goodness gracious, my page just scrolled up. H-Town is where Sydney is from, and he or she says, hey, Renikia, do you offer non-PG biz credit, and what are your thoughts on CPNs? Thanks.
No, I don't offer you can get non-PG, but it takes, that you are, you want business credit, and you don't want a person to guarantee your business credit. And in order to get that, you have to show major financials. You have to show tax returns. 2-year tax returns, 3 to 6 months bank statements. And now the banks would take your cash flow and allow that to be the leverage to loaning you the money. So when you first starting off and establishing your credit, you got to personal guarantee it. No way around it. You have to personal guarantee it. So just take the step back and get your credit right. It may take 3 to 6 months, but I promise you, it's going to put you in a better realm. CPNs, I process CPNs all day. I don't have a problem with a CPN, but don't tell me it's a CPN. Just send it. And also, I just want to say this on CPNs, and for anyone that don't know what a CPN is, it's a secondary social security number. Back in the days, a lot of times celebrities and people like that, so they didn't disclose their identity, they got a secondary social. That's what a CPN is. Now, banks are cracking down on CPNs because people don't have their they don't have their business in order. So when you go to a bank and you request a loan, they have to validate who you are. In order to validate who you are, they got to pull your credit, and they also most likely will pull your background. And they're going to make sure that your social that you are pushing is connected to your background. And if your social is not connected to any old addresses that you lived at, it's going to be a red flag. So just make sure the paperwork is in order with your CPN.
So, shh, don't tell nobody you got one, but you better get it in order. Start early. Giving some people some ideas. We're going to scratch that. Ty, do not add that abbreviation to the wholesale lingo book that you're supposed to be working on. Yeah, don't add that. Okay, Mr. G says he just left from the title company today, picking up another wholesale check. That's what's up. Everybody give GG a hand clap. Where's my cut? Where's my cut, Mr. GG? That's not how to
GG. Oh, yeah.
He's on YouTube. Yeah. Barry Benefield on Facebook says, I have a property in my name and my wife has a property in her name. We are married, but our last names are different. Our credit is great, employment strong, savings strong, and I have VA status. Wife wants to buy a home in Texas in the next 3 years. I want to buy and invest now. What do you suggest? And then Flipman has an echo, and Flipman has a less echo, and Renikia gonna make me diversify my investment portfolio. Wink. Okay, so what's the question about? The question was, what do you suggest? Buying a home in Texas or investing now?
I have like two scenarios, and it's really about what is your financial plan. You know, personally, if you take the Grant Cardone method, which is a method I came up with years ago, but he validated for me, is that own where you don't live and lease where you do live. And why he say that is because the maintenance and everything that is associated with owning the property that you really want to live in. Now, he say that because if you go and build investment first, the investment will take care of where you live. So it's all about your financial plan. Now, if you go and another thing, since you all both have great credit, purchase a house in one of the spouse's name. Other spouse, use that particular credit profile for the investment property. But you got to figure out what is your financial plan. What can you really afford? Can you afford to do both? You want to put yourself on a plan when you start building your investment portfolio and allow your investment portfolio to pay for your mortgage or pay for your home 2-3 years down the line. So figure out what is your financial plan.
All right, that sounds great. Using your investment to pay for your permanent home. Yeah. Okay. On Instagram, we have a question. It says, hi, everybody. Ty, do you suggest creating a website when starting out? Dude, You asking the wrong person. If you don't know by now, Ty has a website for everything. When I say everything, everything. So what do you think, Ty?
Well, was that the answer, or you want me to answer?
I'm going to let you answer. They want your answer.
Yeah, but the thing about a website, just like a phone number you need for your business, you have to understand it has to be marketed, because people are not going to know it exists if you don't spend money to let them know it exists. And what I mean by that, obviously Google AdWords, which can be very, very expensive when you start talking about keywords for real estate. Facebook can be an option. I haven't figured it out yet as far as attracting leads from sellers on a consistent basis. Just, spending money after money on a daily basis on that, trying to figure that out. But yeah, you can go ahead and get a website. Don't let that prevent you from starting. It just is. Yeah, you need one. If you're in business, you need a website. There's no question about that. But social media, which is still the internet, you can have a strong presence there, and it can be just as effective, especially a Facebook page and Instagram or whatever. So, and that's where it is right now. That'll change over time because other people will come up with other platforms where you can make yourself visible. It's just all about visibility and, getting people's attention, and hopefully you're supplying a need of buying their property.
Okay. I see some questions and the hand claps for Mr. Gigi. He says he's just now leaving the title company just now, but he's driving from the title company in Kansas City, Missouri. He says, dude, and dudettes, I guess, this stuff is way too easy. Even a child could wholesale. Thanks, Flip Man. His contract always works for me. Okay, guys.
I don't know about that, but yeah, that's what.
Well, it takes work. It takes work, guys. But the contract that he's speaking of is available to each and every one of you free of charge. It's the same one-page contract that Tyrone has been using for over 15 years. It works. It gets the job done. You can go to flipman.net and ask for it. You can text, I think, contract to 313131. Get it. I mean, it's the first step, one of the first steps of getting your deal done, and it's free to you. So make sure you do that. Where's Willie? You finally logged in on Instagram. I see you. Okay, going to the next question. Let's see here. Oh, while we're still talking about websites, David Flores wanted to know, can I make a free website? And if so, where? And if not, where is the cheapest to build? Do you still suggest ClickFunnels?
ClickFunnels can be a little expensive in the sense that I think the minimum price right now is $97. Even though I haven't, I don't know what for new people are, but I'm gonna say it's $97, which that's more than enough because they give you so many options, and it's really like I said, ClickFunnels, just a click, move, and paste it. Pretty much, they have so many videos on YouTube, just from them and others that use it. But again, that's a little expensive, for some people, $97 a month. There are some other options out there. Something is better than nothing. Just understand when you do free, you get what you pay for or whatever. So just understand that.
You can try Wix.com. I'm not for sure the price, but it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
GoDaddy.com. I think it's like $50, $60. Purchase a domain name from GoDaddy.com, and then you can also purchase the website for like $50, $60, I think.
Yeah, where they host it. And see, guys, that is a lot more into it, I guess, that you have to realize, because like Renikia said, you have to buy the domain, then you have to find somewhere to host it. And if you're not going to be the person maintaining it, aka uploading your pictures, changing the information, you're going to have to find somebody to do that. You have Odesk, which used to be Elance. You have people that you can bid out, that can build it for you. There's so many ways to go to make it not American cheap. But it's all, is that where you really want to start? Is that more important than bandit signs, or more important than the postcards that you could be mailing out? What what are you going to do with the website when you get it?
Yeah, it has to be promoted.
Huh?
It has to be promoted. Just like if you get a phone number. If you don't promote it, no one knows it exists. Now you can put it on your banner sign, but it just needs to be so small, and you'll get some traction from it. But it doesn't need to take up much space at all. Let me just say that, depending on the size signs you're using or whatever. So, but important. That's why we're here.
Landing pages are cost effective too.
Yeah.
And then ClickFunnels is like landing pages, right?
Yeah, it does that, and so you just go so many directions on that too. So.
All right, so Forever Noble on YouTube says, I'm seeing a lot of We Buy signs on my side of town. Should I put my bandit signs on a different side of town?
No, well, maybe so, but you want to start there where you see those are, because those guys are not wasting their time and money. I know you want to be out there by yourself, but a lot of times the reason you don't see signs in certain areas is because they're not going to stay up. But if they're staying up in your area, you definitely need to put signs in that area. You may want to go, expand beyond that, but you definitely want to put signs there. I know everybody's afraid of a competition, but Burger King sells hamburgers, McDonald's, Wendy's, Crystals. You get
right. It's a good analogy. You're gonna always see a Burger King by McDonald's. Yep. Don't be scared of competition. And actually, it's all strategic. Find the community or the area that's booming. And if there's a lot of bandit signs in that area, it's probably a sign that area is booming. So get a piece of the pie.
Yep. Just get your
perfect example on the Burger King McDonald's. When you pull up the McDonald's and the line is long and all you wanted was a burger, you pull over to Burger King. When somebody calls your bandit sign number and you don't answer, they call the other number.
Exactly.
So you want the numbers there, but now comes the second thing. Are you going to answer? So it's not about it being a lot of signs there. It's about who's actually picking up the phone and taking the call.
Absolutely.
So that's perfect. There you have it. Let's go here.
Well, y'all smart as hell, boy. Go ahead, Adrian. Do it.
What? It's the blind. Okay, so what is the best business structure for a new wholesaling business, a LLC or a series LLC? Now, I know with these types of questions, along with taxes, we typically refer our subscribers to their CPA, your CPAs, your accountants, your bankers, your tax people, whatever, because we try not to get into that. But I guess, do we have a suggestion or are we going to stick with that?
I would suggest, I don't care what business you're in, the LLC is always going to give you asset protection. So go with the LLC. Keep it simple. It's nothing new under the sun. You don't see a lot of series LLCs. You see a lot of LLCs. So just keep it simple. It gives you enough asset protection that you need.
Okay.
Or did he say a series meaning multiple?
I don't know.
I've never really heard of a series LLC, but are you saying multiple LLCs? Or are you saying a series LLC?
Not sure. We'll just go with LLCs are the best way to go. Mm-hmm. And you can do them online. You go to the IRS, get you an EIN, then go to Rocket Lawyer. It's a bunch of places.
Well, I just Googled that term. Series LLC is a unique form of limited liability company, LLC, in which the articles of formation specifically allow for unlimited segregation of membership interests, assets, and operations info independent series. Not sure what the hell that means, but
that sounds good. That sounds like protection.
It sounds like protection.
It sounds good, though. It sounds really good.
Google is your friend. I didn't know that. Now I know.
I was gonna keep it simple, but that sounds like a more complex LLC. But keep it simple. Keep it simple.
All right. Michael Williams has a question on Facebook. He says, I'm working on a potential deal, but the seller is the POA for his mother, who is now in a nursing home with state benefits that has the option to do estate recovery from the estate after death. He is concerned that the state will come after him because he's a trustee of the estate and is not going to receive fair market value for the house.
Where this is on Facebook?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the question?
Yeah, what's the question?
Okay. First, you're not gonna get fair market value anyway, but okay. Let's see here. Let me read it again. He's working on a deal, but he's dealing with the power of attorney for an elderly woman who's in a nursing home. And I'm thinking maybe the way it's set up, because she receives state benefits, they can do an estate recovery. And he wants to know, because he's the trustee of the estate, I guess, can they come back after him, or can they cancel the deal? Can he sell it? I guess maybe.
Can he sell it out the trust?
Well, he's the trustee of the estate.
Absolutely, he can sell it out the trust. The money for him, he can sell it. The money is just going to go back to the trust.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what he's asking, but once the seller sells the property, which is owned by the trust, the proceeds have to go back to the trust. But I'm not for sure what your question is.
Well, that's, now that I read it, he's trustee of the estate is not going to receive fair market value for the house. So maybe he's meaning that even if the son, who is the POA, if he sells it, he's not going to get any money anyway, regardless. So it's pointless in him selling it. Make sense?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, Mr. Michael Williams.
But he will receive money, regardless if you get fair market value or not. The difference between what they owe on it and what they're selling it to you for is his profit. So regardless if he get what the property is really worth, if there's a spread, then he get a profit.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think he's more concerned about the seller. The seller wouldn't get anything. He would, but the seller wouldn't, because it's going to the trust.
He owns the trust, or he's the trustee of the trust.
He's the trustee of the trust, but he can't access it until, well, we're going to leave that one alone. Good luck, Mike.
First of all, there's a lot of different trusts, and I'm not for sure what trusts you have: an irrevocable trust, a living trust, a master trust, and they're all different.
Okay, so yeah, you got a lot of moving pieces, Michael, that you're going to have to, I guess, we really can't answer without having all the pieces of your puzzle. So, yeah.
What it sounds like is that he want to sell it for what it's worth, and you want to buy it lower because you're an investor. So it really boils down to, do he want to sell the property?
Okay. Still got to be
your
motivated. All right, let's see here. On YouTube, Brian, the wholesaler, says, is there another way besides white pages in finding missing owners if on limited funds? I think, did you just post a video on that this week, Ty? Finding owners of vacant homes?
Well, no, it was just, I know what you told me. I posted it on Facebook. Well, all I did was just change the thumbnail on YouTube. And
gotcha.
It was referring to the Land Glide app or whatever. But if he's trying to find the phone number and he's on a budget, like he said, Renee, you probably can go into more of that on that.
Did you try the tax records? Which is pretty much going to the tax records, figuring out where they live or where their mailing address is, and send them a yellow letter or a postcard, letting them know that you are you are an investor who want to purchase the property. The most cost-effective one will be going to the tax records and writing a letter or typing up a letter and mailing the letter out to them, or a postcard.
Okay. Dante J says, hey fam, what can I do with a property that has been fire damaged? The house is completely burned. Maybe the garage is still standing, but that's it.
I don't mean that. It depends on the neighborhood. Yeah, that the ridiculous. Yeah,
It's
because
still a deal. A deal is a deal if it's burnt or not.
yeah.
But I mean, if it's your property, wholesale it if you don't want to keep it. I mean, burnt properties go cheap, so someone still be willing to go in and rehab it and flip it out. You know, you just got to get it at the right price.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Still is going to boil down the price. But if he says only the garage is standing,
that's not like a tear down.
yeah, I'm saying then it's going to depend on the ARV. If it's in a $300,000 neighborhood, then boom, yeah, you can. It's just a lot, and then maybe you can. But that's basically a new construction at that point,
right?
So now it's going to be based on, is this an area where people are building new houses? Because that's what it's going to boil down to at that point, no matter what neighborhood it's in or whatever. So so if that's a tear down, like she said. So it's just going to depend on that ARV, because if it's in a $50,000 or $60,000 neighborhood, it's not going to be worth it. Right. You just have a vacant lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just the numbers don't work on a total new construction.
Right. Okay. Raquina Perry clarifies. She said, yes, in Illinois, you can use a series, which allows you to form several LLCs under one LLC, is what she was speaking in regards to when we were talking about that. Let's see. Mm-hmm.
I just want to say something with that. You got to make sure that your LLCs aren't all together, because if that's the case, just make sure if you do take that route, make sure that they're separated, because if someone sues one LLC and they can sue all of your LLCs, that's a problem if they're all connected. So just make sure the protection on each LLC, and no one can sue one LLC and wipe all of your LLCs out.
Okay. Michelle, welcome back from Ohio. She says, I've missed you all. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen your screen name come up. Welcome back. Glad you're here. Double the money. Do you recommend joining a real estate investment program that will train you and fund your transactions?
Where is this coming off of?
This is off of YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously you're talking to me and I sell stuff, so I'm going. You know what I'm saying? You want to be. Read that again.
Do you recommend joining a real estate investment program that will train you and fund your transactions?
Now, I don't know who this operation is, but people that have come my way because of outfits like that or whatever, seems like they can never get a deal approved. Mm-hmm. Right. And the lure is, hey, you sign up with us, and we'll also provide the money for funding your deal, but you can never get a deal approved. Mm. You see what I'm saying? So, you just have to be careful with that. I ain't the only game in town or whatever by no means. So, just be careful with that.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we were speaking of LLCs a little bit, and the question comes up every week without fail. Do I need an LLC to wholesale? What's the answer, everybody? No. Not to begin. If your very first step, if you're starting right now today, you're choosing this is your path to supplement or be your income, and that $150 that you have in your pocket is to establish an LLC, or to get you some bandit signs, or get you a list, or to get you some postcards. Go for what's going to turn you a profit. Then once you get money, then you can LLC. Yes, eventually you will need, but is it the first move? Is it the first step? No. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, we agree.
See,
okay.
I concur.
They concur with me. That's right. So no, don't make it your first step. If you got it like that, then go ahead. But if your funds are limited and you're deciding on what your very first step should be, worrying about that is not your main concern. You can do a couple of deals without that LLC and you'll be fine. I promise.
Absolutely.
Okay, on Facebook, Big B Hunt says, I'm brand new to wholesaling and I want to do some direct mail marketing. Lucky for you, Big B, we got something for you. Okay, I saw Flipman's video for the postcards with the pictures of the houses on them. My question is, with a mailing list of 600 and being that these particular cards are expensive and I have no experience, should I use this company or a cheaper one?
Well, I'll give you a story here. I don't like to throw out numbers, but I got relatives watching. But
I know that's right.
I recently did. I'm not telling you spend this kind of money. I spent $2,200 or whatever on a campaign. I made $9,500 on one of the, just one of them or whatever. Now the problem was, which I think I fixed it now. I got such an influx of calls that I lost some deals or whatever. I wasn't prepared for the calls that I received or whatever. So, but it paid for it, so that's what, $7,300 profit. So boom, whatever.
All right. Let's see here. The contract that Ty makes available for you guys can be used for the seller. It can also be used for the buyer. It can be used for.
Oh, let me say this back to those postcards. That 2,200, that was for like 3,500 mailers. So, so it was a lot. It wasn't just 600. So 600 would only cost him, I don't know. You have to go there, have a calculator there. So just to make sure you understand that you're not going to have to spend 2,200 to send 600 mailers or whatever. But that was for like a 3,500 postcards went out or whatever. So, but go ahead. What you were about to say, Adrian?
You done?
I'm done.
You had gotten so good with not, interrupting me. Don't start.
All right.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Okay. So yes, guys, the contract is good for the seller and the buyer, for the A to B and the B to C. There you go. That was the question. Want to know, could he use it around the table? Now, someone else did ask, and I'm not going to ask, can the contract be used for a probate deal?
Well, yeah, understand it. A contract is just initiating the process. The deal is going to be closed with, the title company and or a closing attorney. The contract is irrelevant on that part of it. If I'm understanding the question correctly, what do you think, Renika?
No, you're right. I mean, regardless you're doing probate, a deal of purchasing a property, the same contract is used. Yeah. Other than when you go to the foreclosure step and buy tax liens. But when you're purchasing a property, the same purchase and the sales agreement can be used every time.
Yeah.
All right. Sticking with Facebook, Daniel Diggy Dan Turner has a question. How many properties do you put in one LLC when you are building a portfolio, or do you prefer to go by value?
The right way to do it when you build a portfolio is to create an LLC per property. So if a tenant fall or something like that and they try to sue you, they can take everything that's a part of the LLC. So one of the reasons why people do that is to protect themselves against any lawsuits.
Okay, so you can get some of it, but you ain't gonna get it all, baby.
Right.
All right, on Facebook, Forex Twin says, I'm a wholesaler and I want to put up a We Buy Houses and a We Sell Houses bandit sign. Is it okay if I put them up close to one another, or should they be spread out separate? And how long can I keep them up?
Well, I do that all the time. People locally probably noticed my sign, one of them, or whatever, for just sellers. For what I'm trying to sell, for buyers, I'm sorry. And I put them up on the same structure or pole or whatever, so it doesn't matter. But the phone numbers are different or whatever. I would suggest that if nothing else. People don't know,
And as far as keeping it up, it's going to stay up as long as government. Right, somebody takes it down. You can take it down, or somebody will take it down. It's just the way it is. Yeah.
All right, David Thompson, our frequent subscriber. Hey, David, I haven't seen you in a while. He's made some money wholesaling. He wants to know, how do you handle a seller when you have a $300,000 property and it's worth $1 million, but they want a $40,000 EMD?
Dang. You don't. Well, you negotiate with them. The art of the deal.
That's the art of the deal.
No, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I would never put myself in that boat. There's no money worth putting that much money up. There's no deal worth putting that much money up. Unless, I mean, it could be. But if the property needs $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of work, is all relative. But $40,000, I would never do that. I would never, ever, unless I'm doing a multi-family unit, a commercial deal. Never, ever allow someone to railroad you like that.
Yeah, something missing in that equation, Renee. Don't you agree? If somebody got $1 million property and they're going to let it go for 300, and then they're going to ask for 40K up in EMD and earnest money, something is missing there.
I give you 400.
Yeah.
I give them $1,000. You know, maybe 12, maybe 1,500.
Yeah, something like that. But
maybe 2,000.
You're not gonna let them hold it. It's gonna be held with who I trust, or a title company or somebody like that, or whatever. But 40K, nah. Yeah. So I'm missing.
Because you gotta realize that you gotta tell your end buyer the same thing. So so everything just lines up, and your end buyer most likely would not put up 40,000. But your end buyer will put up that 1,000 or that 2,000. So I always make my end buyer put up the earnest money unless they're dragging their feet and I need to secure my deal.
Yeah.
You know.
But 40K. Oh.
No, that's crazy. Somebody tried to get me to do 5,000 and I thought that was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, even on commercial deals, $1 million property, 40K would still be a large. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I normally just want like 1%, maybe 2% or whatever. You know, it's all negotiable. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, absolutely. But 40K is a lot, man. You know,
that's a lot. Something is fishy with that. He wants you to default so he can take your money. Something is just fishy with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would say. Is like, it sounds like you're setting me up for failure. Yeah. Like, you get my 40K. No, don't do it. Phil on Facebook says he'll hold the 40K for you. And Talents maybe new, but I'll scroll down to that question. They asked, is the EMD determined at closing? No. So maybe you want to explain what the EMD, earnest money deposit, Ty, we got to do that lingo thing. Maybe explain for those who are new what exactly that means.
So earnest money is pretty much what is needed to secure your contract. You don't put any earnest money up. Your earnest money secures the contract. So you put up the earnest money at the time, not necessarily like the time of, because I never put up earnest money when I write the contract, but I will put up earnest money right before my due diligence ends. So you want to put up that earnest money within probably 24 to maybe 72 hours of writing that contract to secure your contract, because the seller can say, hey, you never put up earnest money and somebody else come and bring me earnest money. I'm going with this contract. So secure your deal and your contract with earnest money.
Okay. I'm not sure how true it is, but I know when I was younger, it was like $1 seals the deal. It's just something has to exchange hands. It doesn't matter that now a judge can determine, hey, that wasn't even a reasonable deposit for what the deal was. I guess that could be determined. But at the end of the day, as long as we exchange something, hey, you locked in. Don't be doing no handshake.
I'm going to read the Google definition here. Mm-hmm. Earnest money is a deposit made to a seller indicating the buyer's good faith in an arrangement, often used in real estate transactions. Earnest money allows the buyer additional time when seeking financing Earnest money is typically held jointly by the seller and buyer in a trust or escrow account. Basically what Renika just said. So that's it. And there's no standard. Now, when you deal with real estate agents, they're going to give you 500, 1,000, 1,500, depending on the market, probably depending on the price. They'll make it seem like that that's it. You got to put that up or that amount up. And it's really not like that or whatever. So it's just a standard more so than I guess you would say a law or whatever. It's just a standard practice of the amount of 500 or 1,000 or whatever. So
a reasonable, lawful consideration is what your subscribers are putting. Okay, so Phil on Facebook, this is for you, Ty. All of y'all looking great. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But, man, you slimming down, player. I see it in your face. Holla.
Not slim fit.
Hey,
I have to read the ones for you.
As soon as I found me a new Asian cuisine place called Pearl, and I went there today and I told them, give me one of those to go. So as soon as it's open, I'm about to heat that up. It's called Salt and Pepper Shrimp. It has onions, cabbage, celery, a little bit of rice. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm slimming up, but hey, speaking of food, so that I'm waiting for this next 20 or 30 minutes, and I'm diving in as soon as I heat it up.
All right. Okay, going back to the EMD and forgetting about that stuff Ty talking about. If Forex wants to know, if I don't close the deal, can I get the earnest money back? No, that's the whole point. That's why we were speaking on the $40,000 being a ridiculous amount, because if your contract allows 30 to 45 days for you to sell or find a buyer for your motivated seller's property, and you don't, and they choose not to extend, then that earnest money deposit, you're out of it. That's why it needs to be, as y'all put, a reasonable consideration. $40,000, can you afford to just lose $40,000, or can you afford to lose 10 or 20? 100 at the max. That's why we keep it little. Some people won't even worry about it. It never exchanges hand. If they're motivated enough, you don't even worry about it at all. They're not going to say anything to you. So no, you do not get it back, but it works the same way for your buyer. You're going to ask for an earnest money deposit from them, just like your seller wants one from you. Now that one, they don't get that back either, depending on how you have it set up. And it could be, the way you negotiate. If it's a serious buyer and you want to do a deal with them in the future, you have to choose whether you want to burn that bridge and keep their money, or say, hey, it's okay, things happen, and we'll do a deal the next time. But the earnest money deposit typically disappears. So it has to be something that you're willing to lose, that you're willing to not get back. Is that right?
Yes, and to add to that, your earnest money becomes non-refundable after your due diligence period. No one have to give your earnest money back after your due diligence period ends. Now you have relationships, maybe you can call them up and say, hey, I know things didn't work out right. Can you get my earnest money back? And it all depends on the relationship. But no one have to refund you your earnest money after the due diligence period.
All right. You're welcome, Phil. Ty, you can take that comment down off the Facebook screen. It's over with. In fact, you can put Cedric Rhodes' comment, which is, what's the proper way to answer the phone when they call you? Well, if you have a dedicated number, a Google Voice or a trap phone, Go phone, whatever. Yeah, I said it. And it's a number specifically for your wholesaling business, and that's the only reason what they're calling for. You answer it, we buy houses. Hi, this is Adria, we buy houses. I mean, there's no other way. You can simply say hello. Let's not complicate it, people. When you answer the phone, just answer the phone. Just answer the phone. That's it. So Cedric, I hope that's really the question that you were asking. You wanted to know, what do you say?
I mean, you can act like, a round-the-way investor, or you can act like a real business owner and separate your personal and your business calls, and you can get a Google number for free, and your one phone ring. So at the end of the day, you're a business owner. Act like it. Would you want to do business with somebody, answer the phone like, hey, what's up? Or, whatever the case may be, laid back, or do you want to do business with someone that act like they are in business? So, yeah.
I'm going to answer the phone like Cardi B. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Hey, it might work. Oh, classic.
What are we selling here? What are we selling?
Who this? Hey, I'm just saying, answer the phone. If I gotta answer that question, just answer. Let's see here.
How you doing?
Oh, no. Let's see here. Yalson on YouTube, when you meet with a real motivated seller, what kind of questions do they ask you? What are they trying to figure out before they say yes to you? And how do you handle them?
And what's the question?
Okay, so when you meet with a real motivated seller, I guess the question is, how do you know that it is a real motivated seller? You know by the type of questions that they're asking you. So what are they going to ask you?
Price.
Okay, so the price would be, okay, let's flip it this way. A real motivated seller will not ask you about
$40,000 EMD.
Right.
That's what a real motivated seller won't do. Yeah, they just not even gonna bring it up in most cases. You agree?
Absolutely. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
They're willing to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to do whatever it takes to get the deal done.
And a lot of times they may give you a price that doesn't work initially. A sign of a really motivated seller, they'll keep calling you back.
Right.
Okay. There you have it. Let's see here. Let me go. I've been slacking on Instagram. What y'all doing? Y'all ain't asking nothing. I see y'all there, but that platform is just dwindling. Let's see here. Can you wholesale pre-auction properties that are bank owned?
Pre-auction properties that are, well, I guess they do auction off sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
It's tough dealing with them.
Yeah, to a certain extent, you have to double close it. I mean, you have to bring the funds to the table.
Yes.
Type of double closing.
Yeah.
You can, but you got to double close it and bring funds to the table, and buy it and sell it. Yeah.
You gotta have the right type of buyer, because it's not like
they would never let you do an assignment.
Yeah.
They'll never let you do an assignment.
Yeah, see, I know if, and it frustrates me. People hear the word foreclosure, act like it's a secret. It's not a secret, guys. These guys, the guys that are players in your market, they are already aware of these properties. Occasionally, and that's why I always say you got to have the right type of buyer. You'll have someone that's really not internet savvy. They may not be on any real agents list or whatever. Those people exist and they buy real estate. Yeah, you can position them where you can do a deal with them. But as Renika said, you still got to buy it first in some form of fact, whether it's transactional funding or whatever. You still have to pray. They're not going to allow an assignment, and they're not going to allow double close. In that sense, where the buyer's funds are double what is double closing the transaction. So it's not going to happen unless you got a title company, somebody doing something they're supposed to do. But we're assuming you don't want to go that option. So.
All right, on Instagram, E. Brown buys houses. Wants to know, what is the best lead generation? I guess this was being opinion. So what do you think?
Yeah.
It's a combination of all.
It's a combination of all of it. It really needs all. Yeah.
You got to find what works for you. But to me, it's a combination of all, and then you get to a point where you find what are your top 3 that's really bringing your leads in. With me is networking, co-brokering with other wholesalers. I get a lot of leads from other wholesalers, on the bandit signs, as well as skip tracing, as far as driving for dollars. But you got to find out what's best for you. But what I realized that it's still a combination of multiples. Some people get a lot of leads from probate. They spend a lot of times at the probate office.
Yeah.
You got to find what works for you.
Yeah.
Okay. The key is that you know about all the different mechanisms to bring leads in.
All right. Ikar Lee on Instagram. I have a potential wholesale deal. I'm having trouble finding the owner. Well, how's it? Okay. So I think we discussed that you can use the tax assessor's office, land glide. No, I'm sorry. It might have some information there. Neighbors. Don't sleep on the neighbors. The neighbors might know. I got some nosy ones that they can tell you where I'm at, where I work, how long I haven't been here, who came over. And yeah, we gotta discuss that because that ain't none of that. Never mind. Anyway, so family members do next of kin. As someone mentioned, white pages, which used to be a wonderful source back in the day. Now they make you pay for everything. But what that does is it lists everybody that's related to the person. So go to the next person. I mean, there's ways. She just mentioned skip tracing. There's services for that. We're not going to use not being able to find the owner as our excuse for not doing a potential deal. We're just going to use all of our resources to do our best. At the end, you may not.
Right.
Yeah, you have to understand that some of these people don't want to be found, number one.
Right. And
when you do find them, that doesn't mean they're going to want to sell it. And if they do want to sell it, doesn't mean they're going to sell it at a price that's going to work for you. So it's not telling you not to do it. I'm just letting you know, you put your energy into trying to find out and reaching out to them. But the first thing, you need to be doing a lot of what, like we just talked about, a combination of a lot of things. Don't fall in love with one property, or whatever, just because you pass by it every day or whatever. So some of these numbers want to be found. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Hopefully that helped you, Ikar. Davalos, thanks for all you've done, Flipman. Cashed my first check on the 28th of February. He's done 4 deals since then, grossing 16 big smackaroos, 16K. Wow.
Wow.
Yay, Gator. That's on Instagram. Tell us about it. Hey, guys, if you're utilizing Ty's videos, you're using his contract, you're coming on here Thursday listening to Miss Renikia and listening to Tyrone, you're part of the Facebook wholesale group and you're making money, cashing checks, let us know. I mean, you do realize that it's a lot of you guys here that aren't making moves or I guess they aren't as motivated to becoming, discouraged, and this your checks, your stories help encourage them. So don't sleep on it. Don't keep it to yourself. We ain't gonna ask you too many times how much you made if you don't want your face on the camera and all that. But if you made a substantial amount of money utilizing these free resources that we have here, let us know. I mean, shoot, that's what we're here for. We're all in this thing together. We're a family of bag chasers. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just want just a little piece of your bag. I just at least buy me dinner or something. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay. Let's see here, guys. We have rounded our hour, so I will ask a few more questions, but I wanted to take this moment right here. 1, to plug up my other laptop because it's dead. 2, to give Miss Renikia the opportunity to tell you how to get in contact with her. Someone, I think it was Miss Michelle, said she hadn't been on here for a while. She was like, oh my gosh, Renikia, you can provide me exactly what I'm looking for. How do I get in touch with you? So give them that information. I know she'll tell you she's available across all social media platforms. Stay out of DM, y'all. All them, I'm not reading all them comments, but just know they're there. Stay out of deal.
Yeah, it's so funny. But yes, I'm Renikia Williams, and I pretty much specialize in finding the money and helping you use what you have. Because at the end of the day, it does take a lump sum of money to get out here and build your real estate career. And it's business. You know, it takes money to make money. So a lot of times we don't get to the next level because we think we don't have the money. But I'm here to tell you that credit is your gateway to wealth. You have to understand how to leverage your credit. You have to understand the power of credit, and you have to understand how leveraging your credit and using as less of your liquid cash as possible. So if you want to be able to use your credit to receive up to $150,000 unsecured credit, go to fundmynextdeal.com. FundMyNextDeal.com will get you access to my site. You input your information on that site, and you're going to get an automatic email about how to get started in the program. If you have any questions, you can contact me at my email address, funding, FUNDING, at fkfinancials.com. That's funding at fkfinancials.com. I'm also available on all social media platforms. My first and last name on Facebook. My name, REUNEK at Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn, my first and last name. So please, I look forward to meeting all of y'all.
All right, there you have it. Most definitely utilize your service, guys. Yes, word to unsecured credit. That's what Kevin Jones says. They're come on now, real estate, everybody is going to always have to have a place to stay. It's a necessity of life. What is it? Food, water, shelter. You're going to have it. Somebody's going to be providing it. Somebody's going to be looking for it. Where you going to fit in at on that spectrum? So there's money to be made. Now, I'm going to ask Alex this question on YouTube because he posted it quite a bit. Is a house way in the country with raggedy houses around it worth getting under contract? Sellers are very motivated. Thank you. Kind of think you answered your own question there. But,
I think you answered your own question. You didn't make that attractive to me. I don't even want to do the way you explained that. Yeah. You answered your own question.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I know you guys hear Ty talk about war zones or the hood. You might call it the bricks or whatever the case, the type neighborhoods that you're talking about. And yes, there's always somebody who needs to live there. You may not want to live there, but someone else will. There's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that you're like, ain't no way I'm living in that. Hey, that's a step up from somebody. You know, someone living in public housing, that's their dream. But when you're dealing with country houses, when you have maybe miles in between the houses, okay, 100 feet or so, the condition is horrible. It's going to be hard for you to determine ARVs for it. Land, if you don't have land buyers, a lot of people don't want land. They're not interested in land anyway. They want a house on it. So it's either going to have to be super, 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 super cheap.
Yep.
Or it's just not a deal. The numbers don't lie. You got to figure that out. Use your numbers. So Alex, that's kind of one of those things. It depends on where you are. What you think?
Well, yeah, that's the issue with a house in the country like that is that you just don't have any data to go by. You know what I'm saying? That's the most difficult thing, is that you don't even have anything to go by as far as what a value is. Well, I say that they're going to always have a tax amount, assessed value from the the county or whatever. But when it's and then you say all the houses around it are raggedy or whatever, like Renika said, you answered your own question, so.
Yeah. But like Adrian said, there always somebody will live everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So okay. I won't never say that there's not a buyer for it.
Yeah.
But it is a situation that is probably less fish in the sea.
Exactly.
And personally, I like to put myself in a win-win situation where there's more people and more fish in the sea, more people I can sell to.
Exactly.
So yeah,
it's a numbers game. You know, the smaller the population, the less opportunities, the less number of buyers. It's just that simple. I live in Birmingham. Renikia is in Atlanta, and Adria is in T-Town. You know, all of those are different dynamics. There are more deals in Birmingham than Tuscaloosa, but there are more deals in Atlanta than Birmingham, just because there's more people or whatever. So it's just a numbers game.
Yeah. And I think about, like, you know, you talk about your mom, where she lives. I know my grandma, that I'm telling you, she lives in Selma, Podunk town. One, you know, is just nothing there, but there's supposed to be a big factory coming. Big factory that's bringing over 2,000 jobs. Now, the country might not be so bad, you know, because now you got to have some housing developments. People don't want to live in those raggedy houses. So, I mean, it just depends on what's going on. So, and don't sleep on it, but might more than likely not. Phil says Gator season, baby snapping necks and cashing checks. Ooh, I like that.
Run that
back. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'll read a few questions, maybe 2 across each platform, and we will be calling it a night, guys. So I'm gonna try to pick out some good ones that don't repeat what we've already answered. I know some of you guys join us late, so always remember that this video will be available on YouTube. As soon as we get done, you can continue posting questions. Ty is good about coming back through and answering most of them. Our Facebook page has over 5,000 members. Y'all are doing really good at answering each other's calls. Keep in mind, guys, it's not your opportunity to advertise per se your personal businesses. Now you can link up, find some other buyers, find some local wholesalers, but let's not, you know, let's keep it informational for each other. We're trying to help each other, not sell each other out. Okay. So, and Ty goes through there every now and again and tries to answer questions there as well. So make sure you tag a friend, bring them over. So let's see what this question is. Yvette says, I put out my 50 signs and sent 200 postcards. Her phone is blowing up. How do I manage this with working my full-time job? Hire someone? She hasn't got any deals yet, though. Okay.
That's a good problem to have.
That's one of them good problems.
That's a good problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can't answer it, someone has to answer it. If not, it's going to be wasted leads. So you got to take control of your leads. Opportunity don't go away, it just move to the next person.
Yeah, call them back. You know, you're not working 24 hours a day, are you?
Yeah.
Call them back. 168 hours in a week. You're working 40 of them. That's 128 left. Call them back.
Yeah. If you get off at 5, do it 5 to 8.
Yeah.
5 to 9. I mean, hey. Yeah.
Yeah, you can set aside a little time. Yeah.
Make it work.
Okay, but people always want to know, the next very question came up, do you recommend virtual assistants? I know it sounds good. Everybody wants that idea. I'm having my business. I got somebody answering my calls for me. They're sending me on my phone. But in the beginning, guys, unless you're just already set up, you got to do this stuff yourself. You are your virtual assistant. I mean, unless you have your sister who's at home, you know, for whatever reason, you can forward the calls to her. Your mom, if she's savvy and could at least just take a name and number. We're not even talking about somebody trying to make a deal for you. We're talking about your retired mom sitting at the house and say, hey, I'm going to leave a cell phone right here. When it rings, just say, we buy houses, and say, we'll get back to you a little later. If you leave your name and number, someone will get in contact with you within 24 to 48 hours. Boom. We're not saying have somebody make a deal, but guys, you got to put this work in yourselves. It's not going to be super easy, but the virtual assistants, the real estate license, the LLCs, the websites.
Right. And just think about this. This is what you want to put your all into. And not saying it like that, but for some reason, a lot of us, we put our all into our 9 to 5, and then when we come home, we unmotivated. You want to put all your all into your business, because your business was going to get you off that job and allow you to go out there and live the life that you want to live. So make it work. You got to put another 12 hours in at night on it until it's begin to make sense. You got to do it. I remember when I first started, I didn't sleep. Literally, I did not sleep. I worked, and then I put another so many hours in. And like she said, when you first started, I always related back to football. It's like you're the referee, you're the quarterback, you're the wide receiver, you're the one that cutting on the lights, you're the one with the peanuts. I mean, you are everybody. So you got to make it work until you get to that point where you can hire. It's just a process. But that process is what's going to get you where you want to be in life.
Right. Nobody's going to work as hard for you as you are for yourself. Plain and simple. So, I mean, that's just, you're going to have to do it yourself. Cali girl, who is coincidentally from Alaska, says, you can't get a local number through Google Voice there. Does it matter if the number is local, and does it affect your ability to do business?
Well, Google Voice is not the only option, but it's one of the free options. There are tons of services out there that offer phone numbers. Now, she said she's in where, Alaska, you said?
Yes.
Well, that may be a little different, but Bumber is a service that I've recently started using. Instead of number with an N, it's V, replace the N with a V as in Victor, Bumber. And it offers a lot of different features or whatever. It does cost, but it's inexpensive. You can get like 8 numbers for like $30 a month or where you don't have to do all 8. I'm just giving you an example or whatever. So one of the things I recently learned, I've been doing it, but I didn't really know I was already doing it, but it just made sense when the guy explained it. But, you know, it's all about tracking. You need to know what's working. And a lot of times you need multiple phone numbers for direct mail. You need one for that. You need one for bandit sign. You need one for cold calling. You need one for bird dogs. You need one for your buyers, you know, so you need to be able to track things to know what they're working, know if you need to stop doing this or to change something or to compound something else because it is working really well or whatever. So phone number.
And to add to that, the number per se doesn't matter, but I would say it matters when you put it on abandoned signs, because you got to realize people are driving and they know their local area code. So it's easier for them to retain the number because of the local area code. But if you pass a abandoned sign right now, it has an area code that you never seen, you probably most likely would not remember that number. But so when it comes to abandoned signs, I would definitely say you kind of want a local number so it's easier to retain by the local residents.
Okay. Nine Mind wants to know, what about short sale properties? Are they worth trying to wholesale?
Short sales are just like foreclosures. Yes, you can wholesale them, but you will have to double close them. A lender would never allow you to do an assignment.
Okay, let's see here. Jade is going to be our final question. She has it's kind of like a discouraging one. Probably everybody can relate, but we're going to motivate her and everybody else who is doing the same thing and give her some pointers. Jade, it would help for you to tell me where you're located, but I'm just going to read your statement. I've sent out about 100 mailers and 50 bandits, still no calls or deals. Please help. Am I doing something wrong?
Yes, not enough.
Simple.
Okay. But you're doing something, but you need to compound that. You just need to compound that. Now, I don't know what list you sent to. I don't know how you put your bandit signs out because all of that still matters or whatever. And so none of that, whatever you did with that, that's not a lot, though, in reality. 50 bandit signs is not a lot. Again, I don't know how you put them out or whatever, because that does matter. And the 100 mailers, that's definitely not a lot. And then again, I don't know how you sent them. Were they postcards? Were they yellow letters? What type of list did you target? You know, all of that factors in. But just on the surface, do more is what I'm saying. So
it's about consistency. It's really about consistency. You got to consistently do this every month. I don't care if you are doing 50 bandit signs, do it every month until something click. but it's all about consistency. I mean, I know people that took 2 or 3 years before they did their first wholesale deal, you know, so it doesn't happen. A lot of times it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, but that's boils down to the point, how bad you want it. Do you want it that bad that you're going to continue to do it? Or are you going to give up because you didn't see the results that you should have received in the first 30 days? And, you know, so if you understand business, you understand that most people, when they think about business, that they always say you never make money the first 2 years. They always say that. So just think about, this is a business. So regardless if you aren't making money or not, I don't have to sell you that a house is needed. Houses are needed. So at the end of the day, something's going to stick one day. Just got to consistently continue to do it until it do. Because it will. Because houses are not going out of style.
All right, guys, there you have it. It is May, 5th month of 2018. This year is halfway over with. What have you done? What have you done other than watch a few videos, join us on our Flippinars, join the Facebook page? I really want to know, what have you truly done when you sit back and evaluate what effort you really put into this? And it has to come to fruition. It can't be in your mind, I am going to do it, I want to do it. What have you actually done? So I challenge each and every one of you to take the next few days of May to figure out a game plan, figure out what you want to do. Go borrow. I challenge everybody, go get $100. And 1st of June, on June 1st, we're going to do a June 1st, what is it, 30 days? June 1 through 30, how we can flip this $100. Wholesaling. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to figure that out, and maybe we can do it together. I'm having trouble too, guys. But what I can tell you is I'm not putting in the effort that I should. I'm just not. So I really can't complain. I can call time and be like, I ain't got a deal yet. What have you done? And he says, what have you done, baby girl? Right. I don't even answer the phone. That's just real talk. I mean, I can't expect to get a deal
right
on the phone.
But I love it though. You are honest with yourself, and that's what people got to do. You got to be honest with yourself. Yeah.
How many letters have you sent out?
You ain't sent out any letters either.
Mind your business. Okay, so. So I can't, and then, you know, and I tell you guys this, it's about self-motivation. We're going to end this here. It's really about self-motivation. I have access to these two. I mean, it doesn't freaking get any better. I can't ask for anything better. I have access to these guys. I mean, I can call Ty 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. And I still haven't done it.
Get no answer. Probably won't get it.
You're right, because he go to bed at 8 o'clock. But I'm saying all that to say, guys, when Ty tells you I have the videos, I have the Flippinar, I have the website, I have the ebook, I have presented all of this stuff free to you. But if you want to pay me to be your mentor, you can still pay me to be your mentor. Don't get it twisted, guys. If I actually do a deal and Ty helps me, I still got to split that check too. So don't get it twisted. But at the end of the day, he cannot guarantee me that I'm going to do a deal. He can only guarantee that this stuff works. I know it works. And I have access to the same things you have access, but 100 times better. And I'm still not doing it. So I encourage each and every one of you to get your SHIT together today.
Okay.
All of you females, all you ladies, ask for a few coins for Mother's Day. We're going to get to $100. And on June 1st, we're going to see what $100 do. We're going to see, it might be some homemade postcards. It might be some homemade bandit signs. But we're going to do this together. And by the end of June, we're going to have something under contract. I didn't say we were going to have a check. I said we were going to have something under contract. Who's going to get gator with me? Snapping necks and get checks. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Join us. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, to grandmothers, whatever the case may be. That's still a mother. And some of you guys who are mothers, I ain't going to finish it. We'll see y'all next week. See y'all on the flip side. Say bye, guys.
Bye.